Hi, it's Jason from Blue Border Games here with another video for my game Nocturn Legacy. The rule set that I've been developing is almost pretty much locked in now, so I'm quite happy with the balance of the game, mechanics, and of course the simplicity. So I thought the best way to show how it works is of course play a few turns, almost like a mini battle report. So that's what this video will be focusing on. For the example turns that I'll be showing you, we'll be using two factions. One will be Clan Nocturn and one will be Clan Delve. Clan Delve will be led by a Fire Acolyte, who is a spellcaster. And as a spellcaster, they're allowed to take two spells into the game. The first will be the Fireball spell, quite aggressive, and then the second will be Hot Weapons. Again, can be cast on your opponents and causes them mischief when they're trying to attack. The Fire Acolyte is going to be supported by two specialists. The first will be a flame gun, which is basically a type of flamethrower. Lots of fun. You can cause quite a lot of damage to multiple fighters if positioned correctly. And the second one then is the Temple Guard, so quite tanky in defense, can take a lot of damage, so quite useful for sort of securing loot tokens and keeping hold of them. And then the fourth fighter then is a clansman. That's just a sort of basic trooper. On the other side, we have Clan Delve, and they're going to be led by the Master Armourer, which is a fighter that's quite good in close combat and ranged attacks, as well as, of course, being a leader. They're going to be supported by a tunnel fighter, which has the pile-in ability that provides a sort of an assistance to other fighters in combat. And then also it's going to be supported by the specialist miner. The miner has quite a good attack stat, so quite an offensive fighter. And again, to balance, the fourth one will be a clansman. So both forces won't include any upgrades, just to keep it simple. But the Clan Delve will have a couple of fate tokens, which are rerolls just to maintain the balance with the point system. So those are the two forces. Let's get stuck in and see what they can do. So here we are, all set up for a game of Nocturn Legacy. As you can see, the loot tokens, the scenery tiles and the fighters themselves have already been set up to speed up the process. But please check out the setup videos so you can understand exactly how this is done, because it is randomized, certainly in regards to the four loot tokens, and then also the amount and type of terrain tiles that the game will involve is also randomly selected, and then each player will be able to sort of set it out, taking in turns. And then after that, there is a process of initiative being rolled to decide who places their fighters first, and as long as they are not within one tile of an enemy, then it's a legal positioning. So please check out those videos just so you can understand that the game really starts with the setup and not just being sort of straight into the action. It's not a pre-set up scenario situation as you would have perhaps in some other skirmish games. So here we go then. So this is the first turn. So we move the turn marker up to that, and the first phase is the command roll. And the command roll is where you will roll a number of attack defense dice that are used in the system that add dependent on the bottle value of your leader, or if your leader is already dead, the fighter with the highest bottle value. So in this case, I'll roll for this side for Clan Nocturn, and the Fire Acolyte has a bottle of 5, so we will get to roll 5 dice, and we're looking for mighty blows. The most mighty blows rolled will be the person that has initiative, and they can decide whether they want to go first or their opponent to go first. So we'll roll the dice. Not fantastic, but okay. So we have 1 mighty blow, 1 hit, and 3 block symbols. Then we roll for Clan Delve. Even worse, we've got 4 hit results, and 1 block. So that means that Clan Nocturn have the command roll, the initiative, and they can decide whether they're going to go first or not. And actually they are. And the first thing they're going to do is they're going to move their clansman, and he's going to use his first action, because all fighters have 2 actions each. So he's going to use his first action to move, and because he still has a second action, he will be able to claim that loot token. So From now on, and that's an important sort of note to be noted really, is that you need an action to be able to move onto a tile with a loot token so you can claim it. So that's all legal. He moved with his first action, and then he was able to claim the loot token with his second. And because he has claimed a loot token, there's two important things. First is you get 2 victory points, so the victory points moves down to the 2. And then the second point is that from now on he will move with a -1 penalty, so he will only have a move value of 2 instead of 3 from now on. Excuse me. So now Clan Delve have moved their first one. It's Clan Nocturn. Clan Delve can do the same with theirs, and they're actually going to move their clansmen and do exactly the same, so they maintain the victory point race, as it were, and then they move their victory point marker down to 2, just like that. Now it's back to Clan Delve, and what we're going to do is, I think we'll just move up to the miner with the temple guard, and he's going to attack. So the temple guard only has 1 dice in attack, so he will only roll 1 attack dice. But had he not moved and already been adjacent, he would have been able to use his first action as a focus action, and that means that he's able to add 1 attack dice when attacking an adjacent enemy fighter. But that can only be done if you haven't moved. So he'll roll his attack dice, and he's looking for a mighty blow or a hit, and he gets a defense. So unfortunately he fails his attack. No need for the miner to make a defense roll, because there's no hits or mighty hits rolled. If it was a mighty blow, he wouldn't be able to block it anyway. So now it is the turn of the Clan Delve, and what do you know? Yes, most definitely the miner is going to attack the temple guard. Usually the miner would have 2 attack dice to roll, but he's going to use his first action, as I said, to focus, so he's able to add another attack dice to his pool, and he will roll the dice. So again, he's looking for mighty blows or hits, and oh my goodness, he has 3 hits. But because they're hits, the temple guard does have the ability to try and defend against them, and luckily for the temple guard, he has not a bad defense value, and he has 2 defense dice to roll in his pool. So he is looking for the block symbols to try and stop some of that damage. He has 1, which is very lucky, because a temple guard has 3 wounds, and what that does there, well, that result, he has 3 hit results for the miner. The block removes 1 of them, and then we're left with 2 hits that get through the temple guard's defense, causing him 2 wounds. So he still has 1 wound left, so he's just about alive for that purpose. So now it goes back to Clan Nocturn, and Clan Nocturn is going to move the Acolyte, and he's going to go 1, 2, 3, and he will need line of sight if he wants to cast his spell. Line of sight goes from middle of tile to middle of tile, which it does to the Master Armourer. So as long as it's not going on to a tile occupied by terrain or another fighter, then they have line of sight. Loot tokens don't block line of sight, so there's no issues with him having line of sight. So for his second action, he's going to try and cast the Fireball spell, and in order to cast the spell, spellcasters roll the same number of attack dice as their bottle value. So he has a bottle value of 5, so he's able to roll 5 dice. And for the Fireball spell, he will need to roll either 3 hits or 3 mighty blows, or a combination, to successfully cast it. So let's see if he can do it. Yes, he does. So there's 2 blocks there, there's 2 hits and a mighty blow. So as I said, a combination of the 3 hits, 3 mighty blows, or a combination is a successful hit. So the Fireball spell enables him to do a 2 attack dice attack, and it is undefendable. So even if he rolls hits with a spell, it's undefendable. So it'll still go through, almost like just like a mighty blow does. So mighty blows hits are what we're looking to rolling to see if we can cause damage on the Master Armourer. We've got one hit and one block, so not fantastic, but nevertheless still causes a bit of damage. So the Master Armourer has taken one wound, and that's the end of the Fire Acolyte's turn. So the Master Armourer actually is not happy with what's just happened. The Master Armourer has a ranged attack of 2 dice. It's a medium range, and what that means is that range goes up in increments of 4 tiles. So short range is 4, medium is 8, and then long range is 12. And the way that range is measured is that it is measured by tile, and it's done orthogonally. So for example, with a range of 8, we'd need to measure that it's within 8 tiles range. So you would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he is within range. It's never measured diagonally, has to be orthogonally, and to make sure, as I said, this is in range. But it's great news. So normally the Master Armourer would have 2 attack dice for his ranged attack, but because he's not moved, he's going to decide to use his first action for aim, which means he can add an attack dice to his pool. So because of that, he is now going to roll 3 dice instead of 2. So he's looking for mighty blows, otherwise for hits the Acolyte would have a chance to defend. So let's see what he gets. Wow, so he gets 3 hit results, which is really, really great news, because unfortunately for the Acolyte, he only has 1 dice in defense. So unless he can roll a block, he will be taking 3 wounds, which isn't the end of the world for most leaders, because they generally have 5 wounds. But still, taking 3 wounds, that's a big hit for this early on in the game. So let's roll a dice, and it's a hit. So yes, he does. The Fire Acolyte will take 3 wounds, and that's the end of the Master Armourer's turn. So now we've got left for Clan Nocturn is the flame gun. And he's going to move to there, and he's actually going to move 1, 2, 3 to there. You can move twice, so that's the only action you can do twice in a turn. All other actions you can only do once, and you can see the full range of actions and more details in the action video, but you can do move twice. So having a move stat of 3, he's been able to move that far, but he has no other actions, and so he can't do anything else this turn. Now that means it's over to the last player in Clan Delve, which is the Tunnel Fighter. Now he's a bit nervous about that flame gun, but he's not one for running away from a fight. So he will, I think, move. No, he is running away from a fight, actually. It's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's going to double movement there, and the reason he's going to do that is because he's got a pile-in ability, so that will be able to add 1 attack dice to the miner's next combat if the miner survives. So that's the first turn. We've seen all the models move, and now we come to the end of the turn, which is the bottle roll. The bottle roll uses a d6. Both players roll the d6 and they add their bottle value, and depending then on the score, you refer to the bottle score table. You're really looking for a 7+, which is no effect. 5 to 6 then would mean an unsettled result, so no fighters, and the force can withdraw, which means as we have in this scenario here, they're all in each other's engagement zone, so in order to move out of it, they would have to make a withdrawal roll, which is basically rolling the number of attack add dice equal to your bottle, and you need a mighty blow result to be able to do so. And the thing we would really not want is 1 to 4, which is petrified, which means you can do basically nothing other than casting a spell or move actions. But when you roll for the bottle roll, you will roll a d6 and you'll add the highest bottle value of a fighter in your force in play at the moment. So for example, at the moment we've both got the leaders in play. They both have a bottle of 5, and so they will be adding that to the score. So we're obviously not going to be getting a 1 to 4, but the 5 to 6 result, which is the unsettled result, is certainly a possibility. So let's roll the dice. So we've got a 6 and a 2, so both are scoring over the 7+, so everyone is fine. So we move on to the second round. So we move up the game turn, and once again we enter the command roll. So we'll be going to be rolling 5 add dice, which is the equivalent of the respective leader's bottle value, and we're looking for mighty blows. So we've got none for the Clan Delve, and we have 1 for the Clan Nocturn side. Okay, so an interesting one. I think I will start with gosh, this is going to be hard because my Temple Guard is in a quite a sticky situation here at the moment. The Master Armourer has only got 1 wound, the Miner has none, but yes, I'm actually going to go and try, sorry, not the Miner, the Tunnel Fighter. So I'm going to try and take the Tunnel Fighter out. So normally the Temple Guard would have 1 attack dice, but he's not moving, so he's going to use his first action to focus, and that means then he gets 2 attack dice. So he's looking for some mighty blows on this one, so let's see what we can do. Oh, disaster. We've got 2 blocks, and we've got no fate tokens for Clan Nocturn, so they can't re-roll. So that ends his turn. That's all his actions done, and it's not looking good. So we now have, I think we're going to do the Master Armourer, and he is going to attack the Temple Guard. So usually he would have 2 attacks, but he's going to use his first action as a focus action, which means he now has 3 attack dice, which is great news. And also because the Tunnel Fighter is in the engagement zone of the Temple Guard, the Master Armourer gets to add another attack dice to his pool. So that means he has a total of 4 attack dice, which is yeah, insane. So let's see what happens. Wow, so not fantastic. So we've got 2 hit points, 2 hit results there, and 2 block. But what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to spend one of my reroll, sort of fate tokens, which is a reroll. So I'll put that there, that's been used, and I'm going to reroll one of these dice. And it was a waste of time because we've got another block. Never mind. Okay, so we've got 2 hits against the Temple Guard. Temple Guard, as we know, has 2 defense dice, so he's got a good chance of shrugging these hits off. So let's see what he can roll. Absolute disaster. He has just been unable to block both hits. He already has 2 wounds, so that means with only having 3 wounds in total, he is dead. So the Temple Guard has been defeated, and because it was a specialist, then players get 2 victory points for defeating a specialist. They get 3 for killing a leader and 1 for a trooper. So Clan Delve gains another 2 victory points, taking them up to 4. So this is not great news. It is time now for some retribution, I think, on the side of Clan Nocturn. So I think what we'll do is we will move him 1, 2, 3, and he's going to attack. And a flame gun has 2 dice ranged attack, and it's said to be short, but actually what it is the blast template. So you can just see there it covers 4 tiles. So if I can put it like that, just to give you a better idea, any fighter, friend or foe, that's underneath that template will be struck by this attack. So you make one roll and it applies to all fighters. So he has 2 dice, and we'll roll to see what power this flame cannon has. Not bad. It is 1 attack against the tunnel fighter. Tunnel fighter only has 1 defense dice, so let's see if he can shrug off that 1 hit. No, he doesn't. So the tunnel fighter does in fact take a hit. So he goes down to, he has now 1 wound. It comes back to Clan Delve, and I think what we will do... oh my gosh, I've just made a mistake. I just realised that I was using the miner and not him, and it should have been 3 attack dice, not 2. 3 attacks instead of 4, so my apologies for that. That's an error on my behalf, but we'll swap them round just to pretend that that didn't happen, and we're now left with the miner, as you can see from there. The miner will simply go 1, 2, actually 1, 2, 3. Now he doesn't have a second action to be able to move onto that tile and claim the loot token, so he'll have to stay where he is. So yeah, you need an action to move and another action to be able to claim the loot token on that tile. So that's the that's the miner's turn. So we're back now to Clan Nocturn, and I think the Fire Acolyte is going to have a go at the tunnel fighter, and that is the tunnel fighter. So yeah, he's going to cast a spell. He's going to cast the fireball spell again. So same again, we get 5 dice, we roll them because he has a bottle value of 5. We're looking for a mixture of hits and mighty blow results to amount to 3 to successfully cast it. And unfortunately he doesn't. He's only got 2 hits and 3 block values, so he doesn't cast it. So he's probably just gonna move to there for now, just to get into his engagement zone. I think that's probably about the last thing he's going to do. And then we have the clansman, which can only move 2. So he's going to go 1, 2 again, using both actions to move. The reason he's only moving with 2 because of course he is carrying a loot token. And actually the last fighter to go will be the clansman on the Clan Nocturn side, which means that yeah, they're all sort of done and ready to go. So again, we come to the end of the turn. I believe everyone, oh no, everyone hasn't gone. I do apologize. It is the tunnel fighter's turn. So he hasn't moved, so he's going to use his first action to focus, and then he's going to have a normal 1 attack dice in his attack to attack the Fire Acolyte. So we'll roll the dice to see what happens. He's looking for mighty blows or hits. Well, he gets a mighty blow, so because it's a mighty blow, Fire Acolyte cannot defend against that, so he automatically gets 1 wound, taking him up to actually 4 wounds. So yeah, he's pretty wounded. So now we move to the bottle stage. As we saw before, both players will roll a d6. However, they will reduce that total score by 1 for each fighter that they've lost during the game. So Clan Nocturn is lost the Temple Guard, so that's -1, and so what we then have is a -1 penalty to them. So let's roll the dice to see what they get. We've got 2 + 5, so Clan Delve just makes it, so they get no penalties for the next turn. But unfortunately, Clan Nocturn is 2 + 5, which reaches 7, but it's the -1. So it gives them a total bottle score of 6, which means on the table they now are unsettled. So they are not able to withdraw from engagement zones in the next turn. So we'll move on to the 3rd turn and the last turn for this this video. So again, each player rolls for the command roll. So both are able to roll 5 because the leaders are still alive. Clan Delve has got 3 hits and a mighty blow. We have 2 mighty blows though for Clan Nocturn and 3 hits. So mighty blows you look at first, 2v1, so it's going to be Clan Nocturn again. That will be having the initiative this turn. And I think obviously they are going to definitely go first. The question is, what are they going to do? I think I'm going to use the Fire Acolyte first, and he's going to try and cast the fireball on the Tunnel Fighter again. So roll the 5 dice, looking for 3 hits, 4 hits, fantastic. So he successfully casts that spell, and that means he can do a 2 attack dice attack against the Tunnel Fighter that's undefendable because it's a spell. And what we have there is 1 hit and 1 block, so he will be getting 1 more wound. So that takes the Tunnel Fighter up to 2 wounds. Now that's his first action. So one of the sort of advantages of spellcasters is they can cast a spell and they can also do an attack if they're in a joining space, which he is. So he's going to do a normal combat attack, but he has 2 attack dice for that purpose. So let's see if he can get some mighty blows or hits. No, he gets nothing, and we don't have any fate tokens, so we can't re-roll. So that is the end of the Fire Acolyte's turn. Now I think I'm actually going to use the Master Armourer to move to there, and he's going to do a combat attack. So he gets 2 dice usually, but because the Tunnel Fighter is still just alive, he can contribute his pile-in ability, which gives him another attack dice. So the Master Armourer is going to be attacking the Fire Acolyte with 3 dice. So let's see what happens. Okay, so he has got 2 attacks, 2 hit results, but what he's actually going to do is spend another fate token. They have 3 in total to keep the balance, and re-roll this block result. And what do we have? Fantastic. We have 3 hits. Now the Fire Acolyte only, unfortunately, has 1 defense dice, and with 3 hits he's only going to be able to defend 1, so we'll roll it just for the sake of it. But no, he gets a hit, so he doesn't defend any of them. He only had 1 wound left anyway, so he was going to die because as a Fire Acolyte he only has 5 wounds. So unfortunately he's gone, he's dead. And as I said before, you get 3 victory points for killing a leader. So here we have Clan Delve up to 7. You get to 10 victory points, you win the game, or you get to the end of the 8th game turn, and whoever has the most victory points is the winner of that. But it's looking like Clan Delve are doing very, very well at the moment. So back over to Clan Nocturn, and what they're actually going to do is going to move the flame gun. So he's just moving to make sure he doesn't go into an engagement zone, because you can move diagonally, and he is of course going to use his flame gun. And as we showed before, you press it against like that, and any tile that is covered by half of the template will mean that they're a target. So for this attack, it'll be a 2 attack diced attack, but it'll be against both the Tunnel Fighter and also the Master Armourer. So I'm rolling attack once, but they'll each have to roll defense separately. So we'll roll for the attack. 2 hits, fantastic. So the Tunnel Fighter only has 1 defense dice, so we roll to see if he defends. He does, but he only cancels out 1 of the hits. The other one still gets through, so he's taking a wound. Now unfortunately for the Tunnel Fighter, he already had 2 wounds, so it takes him up to 3 wounds, so he is dead. So at last, some more victory points for Clan Nocturn. Now we move on to the Master Armourer. He's a little bit stronger, so he gets 2 defense dice, and we roll the dice to see what the results are. but it's still not great. He's taken 2 wounds because he's rolled 2 hit symbols, and because of that then he goes to a total of 3 wounds. Fantastic attack by the flame gun, and that shows how that fighter can be really effective when it gets close up to multiple enemy fighters. However, now we are back over to the Clan Delve team, faction, sorry. And what we're actually going to do, we're just going to move the miner, get the right one this time, 1 space, and then he's going to use his second action to claim a victory, sorry, a loot token and the 2 victory points. So he's up there, up to 9, very close to winning the game. So we're back over to Clan Nocturn, and unfortunately Clan Nocturn only have a clansman left, and of course he's going to attack the other clansman. He's not moving, so he's going to be used, and he can't withdraw anyway because they're unsettled, but he's going to use the first action to focus, and that means that he gets to roll 2 attack dice, one naturally for his attack value, and the second one then is for that bonus that focus gives. So here we go then. We are going to roll 2 dice, and we get 1 hit, so he has a chance of doing damage. Clansmen only have 1 attack dice and 1 defense dice, and that's for the 3 clans, Sky, Delve and Nocturn. So we'll roll 1 defense dice for the Clan Delve clansman. Unfortunately he doesn't block it, he rolls a hit, so he gets 1 wound, but it does go back then to the Clan Delve clansman, and what we have here is to roll 2 dice, because again he is using his first action to focus, so he gets the extra dice, and he's rolled 2 hits, but again there's an opportunity to defend 1, but no it doesn't. So the clansman has gone, he's only now got 1 wound left, because clansmen have wound value of 3, so he's lost 2. So now we would come to the end of the round, and we'll roll 2 dice. Okay, we've got a 6 plus, unfortunately the flame gun is bottle 3, so that takes it to 8, but they've lost 2 fighters, so that means they go down to 6, so they're still unsettled. 4 plus 5 takes us to 9. They've only lost 1 fighter, so they're on 8, so they are fine. They're carrying on as normal. So we might as well, I think this was going to be a shorter game than I thought, but actually a sample game, but I think we might as well go straight into round 4 and see where we get, see if Clan Delve can get there to get the 10 victory points. So we now roll for the bottle. So the Master Armourer is still alive, so he gets 5, but unfortunately with the Fire Acolyte dead, the highest bottle value, well, in fact it's both the same, they both only got 3, the clansman and the flame gun is only 3, so they only get to roll 3. So again, the force that rolls the most mighty blows, and there are no mighty blows, so when there are no mighty blows you then count the most number of hits, and in this instance we have 5 hit results for Clan Delve and 1 for Clan Nocturn. And this is going to be very simple. The Master Armourer is going to use his first action to move and his second action to claim a loot token, which takes him up to 11 points. And Clan Delve win the game. So there you have a mini battle report that actually turned out to be a full battle report between Clan Delve and Clan Nocturn. But that just goes to show how quick and simple the game can be. Yes, sometimes it can take 8 turns or up to 8 turns to see a victor, but very often it can be much less than that when the action gets into sort of full swing and very, very quickly. I hope you enjoyed the battle report that you saw today, and if you want to find more about the game, please see all the other videos for Loot and Legacy on my YouTube channel. There's ones on the factions, the lore, as well as some more on the game mechanics and the game development. If you want some more background information on some factions that we're developing at the moment and other aspects of the game, please check out our Facebook page as well, where we regularly post updates. Yeah, so yeah, I've been Jason from Blue Border Games, and thanks for watching. See you soon.